the Levels podcast. I'm Justin Horo, joined by the Triple OG, Willie Mason. Mate, this is grand final preview time.
Yeah, nice.
Brother, we did it all the way. We started just before the season. The goal was to have a really consistent season of review. We missed one review which we squeezed into a preview episode on the long weekend when I believe it was the Easter long weekend when the Eels played. We had to scheduling differences with the studio that we used, but I just want to thank everyone, the Tab, Body Science, and Diamantina Studios for hosting us here in the studio. Tab and Body Science have come along with the ride. We're not finished yet.
No, it's been good, man. It's been good.
We've got through to the end of the year, the grand final. We've been super consistent. I'm super proud of it.
Yeah, it's been great. Well, I think we had a chat Super Bowl, wasn't it?
Yep.
It all started from then. And look where we are now. I'm not sure. It's been 30-something weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah, 30 weeks.
Consistency, preview, review. A couple of great things with the Tab. Body Science jumped on board. We've got some good backers here. So, we said at the start, you just build the platform.
That's it.
You know,
we want to be consistent. We want to put content in front of people that people enjoyed.
Yeah.
We hope that people have enjoyed it. Feel like we've got a good reaction. Our subscriptions, I think, mirror that. So, we're stoked, mate. I'm stoked. And I've had a good season doing this with you.
It's fun, eh?
Let's finish it off with the grand final review, eh?
Yep.
Oh, preview, sorry.
Preview.
Before we get into that, mate, something that I'm proud of as well, in particular with our little mate behind the glass cage of emotions. Lukey Stowe has been working really hard on this. They've arrived. Collection 1 is here. So what we want you to do, go jump on levelsnetwork.com.au and you will get first access to our new collection. So we've got the hoodies and we've got the hats. So for the hats, one size fits all. We've got 3 colorways.
We've got this big head.
Yeah.
It's all right.
One size fits all. Me and Mace have got the biggest lemon spreads too. So looking good, mate. I'm wearing the Cleveland Browns with a little bit of off-white there on the top. Mace, you're wearing the OG black and white, keeping it nice and simple. I equally love these ones, but this one's got a little special heart. It's almost like an LA Dodgers colour scheme, but it's got a bit of dogs about it too. It's
good, eh?
Dogs of war about it.
Can't beat the blue and white.
So if you're a Bulldogs fan, this is for you. Make sure you be wearing this. Oh, here we go. We'll get that up. Lukey's saying there. So it's an unstructured fit, and it's a 3D chain link embroidery there on the front. And look, got a little bit of levels on the back as well. So, like I said, really proud of these, really stoked with the way they come out. We haven't done this willy-nilly. We've got this from overseas. So if people, have bought my stuff before, would know the materials that we've used before. This is top shelf, and a lot of effort's been put into it by Lukey. And again, now rolling on to the hoodies. This is a box fit. I'm wearing an XL, so it's really nice and light. So you can wear. It's almost good for any season. It's shipped from overseas, like I said, and it's designed by our man himself, Lukey. So he went through and spent a whole lot of time on this, trying to get it right. Again, nice and simplistic with the embroidery here on the front. And this is our OG. This is our OG, Mace, and we're big on this too. Luke, 3D silicon from Lukey. This is premium, top-notch stuff.
You're XL, I'm a double XL.
Yeah,
right?
Mace will be a double XL. I could even go, if I wanted to slim down a little bit
Yeah, I could
more,
go an XL easy.
I think I could go a large.
So don't worry about the length, guys. Just say my wingspan is 211 centimetres.
Let me just get this up too, Mace. So here we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So that comes all the way down there. It fits nicely.
Yeah, you could go an L easy.
It fits nicely.
Yeah.
Is that coming across there, Lukey? Here we go. Look at this. All the bells and whistles. So that's a nice fit, mate. And we're stoked with this. Like I said, top shelf material, nice and light. I've been wearing this. We're about to roll into summer. I've been wearing this in spring.
Yeah.
I'll be wearing it in summer. And then obviously winter. So we're stoked with it. Well done, Lukey, behind the camera there, who's just done the beautiful camera work. How about this one? Straight off the bat, just got a little YouTube question from last episode. As if little old Batley got a shout out. We say the slope is worth 18. It's their 18th man. Come on, COYD is come on, you dog. Batley Bulldogs.
Yes.
Yeah, the dogs.
Oh, I love it.
Shout out to, and look, the reason I put this in is, again, it's another thing that, I'm stoked about. We've got viewership, and there's a strong following in rugby league still in the north of England.
Oh, they're crazy.
You know how passionate they are over there, Mason. We get some of my favourite questions generally come from people that live in the north of England or they follow the game of rugby league in the northern hemisphere, because the reason I love those guys is because it's a tough market over there.
Yeah.
They've got rugby union that's thriving. They've got the English Premier League that's obviously the mecca, the main go-to. So if you're following rugby league, you're a diehard. You're like the Wakey fans. You're like the Hull
Bradford,
fans.
Hull.
Oh,
Shout out to North of England. I love it up
their
there.
rugby league over there, and so do we. And we love doing this show. So to help us continue to do this show, make sure you subscribe. We're at plus 18K at the moment. We're traveling. We really wanted to get to 20K, but regardless of that, Mace, we've hit so many targets through the year. I'm just fucking super grateful we've got to this point, mate.
Yeah, it's good, man.
We're also on Twitter and our new Levels Run Club, 500 plus members, mate.
Fuck.
Make sure you come for your first ever run on Tuesday with a little 5K, and we're going to be doing our first one. How you feeling, mate? You ready to go on Sunday again?
Oh, maybe. Depends how big Sunday is.
Well, you'll be there regardless, though.
Yeah,
you'll be there
I'll
regardless
be
to
there.
rock up. Even if it's maybe just bringing the body
I'll be
size.
there. I'll be there.
You have the protein shakes for us, ready to go after. Those are the ready-to-drink vanilla and chocolate shakes. They are currently available in Coles, online at bodyscience.com.au, and in independent supplement retailers. Even if the rig's feeling a bit sore from
I can walk the whole thing.
Yeah, you come around and make sure you're there. So, first run this Sunday, grand final day. So you're going to get after it so you can treat yourself and enjoy a couple of tinnies in the afternoon while you're watching the grand final. Meet at Centennial Park at Homestead Cafe. I'll be putting it on the New Levels Run Club on Strava. So looking forward to seeing anyone who wants to get after it in the morning. One thing that I've done in the past, and I've been doing content for a while, Mason, and this is what I'm looking to build, is a real community feel.
Yep.
This is a great start to it. The YouTube questions for me is another reason I've loved it. So if anyone knows, I used to be on this thing called the Scapes Punters Club, and from that I had a couple of OGs. You know, we called them the OG Punters Club, and I've kept in touch. I'm in a group chat with them now, and it's been 3 to 4 years.
How mad.
I've caught up with a couple of those guys. We've got on the punt together, responsibly, of course. We've had a few drinks, and it's just that community that I want to build. So this new level of it is going to be the Run Club for us, and there are our ones from day one. And I want to give it a shout out straight away as we're rolling to Joey Clark. I think he's our number one fan, mate. Like, there are some guys we'll have to go through. There's so many guys that have left comments throughout the year on YouTube, just showing the love for the show, for the network, what we're trying to build. This one's from Joey Clark straight off the bat. Hi, Scope and Mace. I've been watching since day one, and I've loved every single episode. Levels become my favourite podcast right from the get-go. I'd just like to say a huge thank you to both of you for the phenomenal content you create for us fans every Tuesday and Thursday. I know Levels will grow to be a huge potty, and look forward to watching more content moving forward. Up the wires, Joey Clark, really appreciate you, mate.
Joey.
Hopefully, up the wires, maybe you're in New Zealand. We get a chance to catch up with you, because we'll be going to New Zealand year in, year out.
Yeah,
I think moving forward, that has to be something that we do. But if you're not here, mate, get down to the Run Club or come and meet us at Centennial Park on Sunday, because
be interesting to see who comes.
I want to create those relationships with the people that have been following us and supporting us. Regardless, there have been, some things that maybe not everyone agrees with, or I think the thing that I'm most proud of is we're open and honest all the time. Yeah. I'd like to think we give constructive criticism a lot of the time, and I think that's why people resonate with us. So thank you, Joey.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Joey.
All right, the guy who's reached out as well was Rowan Coolwell. Upper boys just tuned in on a train from Venice, Italy to Florence. Have you spent much time in Italy?
I've been to both. They're beautiful.
Italy was...
You got to go.
Italy was the one country out of the main, Spain, Germany. I went to Iceland while I was over there. I never got
to Iceland?
I went to Iceland. Reykjavik. It was fucking
Crazy?
beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. Yeah,
that is beautiful. Like, Italy is the shit.
Yeah, I heard Italy is stunning,
beautiful, man. I've done like the the Venices and Florence and stuff, but like Positano and all that kind of stuff. It's really commercialized now.
Yeah,
like
okay.
2003. That's why I went there, in 2010 or something like that. That wasn't as Instagrammy and all this sort of bullshit. Like, just real people were there.
That's just life.
That's life. I'm just saying. But now you go to Mykonos and all this sort of stuff. They're only there to do that shit. All these influencers. Like, before, you weren't there. You were just there. If you can afford to fucking go there, if you know the places like Mykonos and all those sort of places, like, you weren't there to take photos. You just there because it was a mad time.
What are those instant
Get a
photos?
fucking little click
Polaroids?
Kodak Polaroids.
Yeah, sick. Yeah, that's just the nature of
yeah, but it's just like now you go overseas. Like I'm glad that I got all my travelling out of the way. Right? You'd have to really fucking twist my arm to get me out of like.
I reckon I can find.
You could. You get me back. You could. But I'm like now, like if you get these young guys going, oh, we're going here, we're going there. I'm like, yeah, I've been to all those places, man.
Yep.
Like you'd have to really like. It'd have to be worth my while.
Yeah, for sure.
Or
So
a family trip or something like that. / blokes trip, family trip. Half.
Yeah, that's right. Bit of golf. Yeah, bit of golf for me. Yeah. Shout out, Rowan. Enjoy your trip, brother. And again, just in Northern Hemisphere, getting on a train, tuning in, listening to he was listening to the review. This is the preview. So safe travels, brother. Moving on, let's get some footy chat going, eh? MJ Bogan. And he's clearly not from Penrith. Penrith can be rattled with aggressive behaviour. You can get under their skin with good, tough footy. Look at how the Eels played against them this year. If it doesn't go their way in the first 60 minutes, the Panthers can be fragile on the chase. I think that's their weakness. It's going to be a great game. Do you agree with MJ Bogan?
I think he's going off one game. And Penrith got done, and they did look a little bit rattled against Parramatta. That's where I sort of went off Penrith. I'm like, fuck, they look susceptible to tough shit through the middle.
Yep.
And then they just fixed it. That's what great teams do. And this is a great team. They fixed it, and they just went, you know what? That's just a game where we don't accept those sort of things, and they went out and they've fucking been on a tear ever since. It was like probably the best thing that happened to them all year. They're like, hey boys, we just got dusted by Parramatta convincingly. Who are we? Who are we? You know what I mean? Yeah. And then they just went, all right, this is who we are. Fucking got back up, and they've been probably the best team since.
MJ Bogan, I agree with you.
Yeah,
and you've got to look at the blue and yellow print of how to beat the Penrith Panthers. Yeah. I disagree. It's throwing them off their game.
No, it hasn't.
The aggressive behaviour. I'll tell you what the Parramatta Eels did. They played footy. So they didn't, if you watched last week with Melbourne Storm, and this is, sort of going back to reviewing the game, Nelson tried to come out and unsettle him. He tried to, hit him late, put a lot of pressure on him.
The biggest aggressive person in the comp he is.
Penrith love that shit. If you go like that, you get in that sort of game, you've got them frazzled. When I watched that Parramatta Eels game, I remember watching it. I remember this a couple of years ago where like I said, the blue and gold print of how to beat Penrith is watching Parramatta. They just consistently play footy. They got bashed for long periods of last year's game, and even to a lesser degree this year. I remember
talking about grand final last year.
No, not because in season last year, they got smoked in the grand final, and they made a late little charge. But both times at Penrith this year and last year, they've just played footy. So nice little tip-ons. They got rissoled for long periods of the game, but they just kept on coming at him. What they did was nice little short interchanging passes because the Broncos have got that in them too. So this is, again, the way I think that Broncos can play well against them. But if you run one out against the Penrith Panthers, what happens is you've got to spend so much energy on plays 1, 2 and 3 defensively, right? Because you've got Taruva coming, you've got Toto coming, and in particular, you've got Dylan Edwards. Whenever he catches the ball, he runs 20 metres before he even gets into contact. So what that does is it fatigues the defensive line. Therefore, the shape for the opposition coming back at them is in 1s. 2s max. Yeah. But if you can somehow find the energy to get back, like Parramatta do, with some shape.
Back rolls get back quick.
But not use the shape, mate. So what they do is they might come out and they might have that nice, beautiful shape where it's a middle, generally it's a lock with a front row outside him, and then they've got the halfback out the back, and he's looking like he's in shape, and he's got nice posture, and then you just, nice little tip on. So what it does is the edges, like Liam Martin, like Scotty Sorensen, can't compress and jam into that tackle from the outside in. They've got to hold shape and stay true, because if they don't, you've got the shape out the back, and then you flick it out the back, but you don't overcompensate it. You just go nice, short passes.
Yeah, and it's very important for the wingers to get back in that one shape. The first and then push out wide and hold the field, because what happens is you'll see like Taruva and Toto, depends on what side they're at, if they kick left or right, they're 30 metres in because the wingers are in doing their work.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So they all compress. So what they need to do is maybe just have just say if they kick that way, the winger and centre just need to get those play 1 and play 2. That other winger needs to hold the pine. You know what I mean? And the back rows need to get back. The centres need to get back. And that'll spread it out. Otherwise, you just play into their hands and they bash you into submission.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, and then you can't do anything on the fourth. And just all you do is setting up for the kick. So that's going to be one out. Yeah. Kick pressure. Then fucking Dylan Edwards is catching it on the 30 or 40, and then their fucking attack kick come
getting halfway.
And you're just and they don't stop doing that.
Yeah.
They don't stop doing
Rinse
it.
and repeat.
You've got to you've got to somehow back rolls hold the numbers line, and even like the center, the other side. That's what I'm talking about. The other side that's not getting the ball. The back rolls need to hold their shape, and the centers and the wingers. So it pulls them out. Pulls Liam Martin out. Liam Martin's not looking, going, I'm going to kill whoever's coming in now. Yeah. You know, like try and line up on Payne Haas, line up on Carrigan, and even Sorensen on the other side.
Yeah.
They're the indicators. Where those two are, got to get people outside them. If they're a chance, because you play into their hands, they're going to fuck you up.
Yeah. Mace, you'll know this, you played edge and middle as well. With the little bit of shape, so what I'm talking about and what you're talking about, Mace, if they've got good shape with someone out the back, then as a back rower, I know if there's no shape out the back, then I know it's either going to be a run from the middle or it's going to be a tip on. So what I do is I run up, I turn them in, and I might even just drop a shoulder in there. So what I do, it's not even completing a tackle, but I'm just going to bang. I'm going to readjust them, and I just want to knock them off their line back into my middles, and then you get Leota, Fisher Harris, Mitch Kenny and Lowe, and they just, once you just knock them back into the inside because there's no shape out the back, but if I have shape out the back and I've got to worry about
who's the number one person, who's the number one player you don't want to see out the back if you're a left full?
Reece Walsh, anyway.
100%. Yeah, Walsh. He needs to put himself in a position where those back rolls are going, I can't fucking turn in here.
Yeah.
If we go out the back, Rolls is skinning me.
Yeah.
And he's got the centre and he's got the winger in their 40. That's the important play. When you can pull the trigger like that, that's when you're going to get some joy. 20, 30 metres. Then you've got the middles coming back and they've got to adjust. Then it's play 4, bang, kick. Then you find some joy. If you don't, so Reece Walsh can't be fine just sitting around the ruck because he's going to have to be everywhere. You have to push out a little bit wider. Long ball to Ezra Mann, lead runner, Capewell, then you either hit Capewell or you hit Reece Walsh.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just little plays like that to get him out of yardage because Penrith they don't stop. And they play what's in front of them. And they'll see Reece Walsh, they'll go a little bit wider.
Yeah.
They're not dumb. They're not going to just sit in there like that. So you've got to play some footy against them.
Yeah, for sure. This one's from Joseph Yosefa. Hey, boys, do you reckon Ivan's name can start to be up there with Craig Bellamy's and Trent Robinson's status? 4 grand finals in a row. Trent and Bellamy have never done that, or even Bennett hasn't made 4 in a row. Where does Ivan Cleary sit on the coaches' pecking order?
Hang on. 6, 7, 8, 9. Didn't Melbourne do that?
No. 6.
Melbourne 7. And Brisbane. 7. Melbourne, Manly. 8. Melbourne, Manly. 9. Melbourne, Para.
They did too.
4.
Yeah, but asterisks?
Yeah,
asterisks.
But
because
that's, don't asterisk it. It's they still got the 4 grand final. So Belly's.
Well, there'll be an argument for that.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But
yes, so Bellamy has done that. You're right. So your point is, 6.
I think I just want to know why he isn't.
Yeah.
Like regardless of right now, why isn't he in the conversation with those guys?
Do you think the stain of the West Tigers has thrown people off? Like the West Tigers wasn't a good stint.
Yeah, I think so. Like,
but I agree. He is.
They look at the body of work of the Bellamy being there since 2003 till now, and then you have a look at Wayne Bennett 87 till right now.
I'll say for me, just this is my personal preference, and I think you'll be the same. I've got Wayne Bennett and Craig Bellamy together.
Yep.
I can't split them. One, longevity of Wayne Bennett, and then the different systems he's done it in, and then second of all, the culture that Bellamy's built. I find it really hard to split those two, and I don't think you ever will. I think they'll be synonymous together. Two
Forever.
Coaches that have left the legacy for the coaches of the future. I think the next tier down, I've got Robbo right now, and I've got Ivan Cleary with Robbo.
What about Ricky Stewart?
I don't have Ricky. Rickie's been successful. He's won grand final in 2002.
2, 3, 4. He got to grand finals.
Yeah. So it's almost like the argument for players sometimes. 1 from 4.
Yeah, it's not good. And he's a beast stick off. No.
Yeah.
I mean, you are happy with that one, but I mean, like, just say you look at those other couple. Like, I mean, 3 and 4, Ricky's there going.
You'd be disappointed if you'd only
pissed
won
off,
one
and I know that he went at a couple of players mad Monday too, and going,
of course,
I'm not even going to mention their names.
Yeah,
you know what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
You just cost me 2 fucking grand finals.
Yeah.
There's nearly fight mad Monday.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's fucking fiery. I think he's up there.
I think Sticks is next. Sorry, by the way.
Yeah, I put Stick with Robbo and I put him against before Cleary just because of the longevity. Yeah, because of the longevity, and I probably a personal thing with me and Ricky as well. Like, I don't know Cleary that well, and I know the way Ricky coaches, he always gets the best out of me. Okay. So I was just like, I understand that. I've been coached by Bellamy. I've been coached by Wayne Bennett.
And all 4 of those coaches, actually, Robbo hasn't. Robbo and Ivan haven't done rep footy as well.
No, so that's the difference. I mean, it's not a big difference on club play. I think in 2 or 3 years, when he's probably going to go to a grand final this year, obviously, next year, who knows what he's going to do? Like, it's like, does he ever want to step into the rep realm?
He could do when he's done, or I think he might be an advisor for Freddie potentially again. I thought.
Well, he was there the last game, wasn't he?
In the last game, and I think that worked well. Even if it's just for a calm head up in the box and substitutions and whatnot. No one to use his players.
I think people sort of sleep on him because like everyone's looking at such a great culture, it's such a great team. I'm like, have a look at the players that went through the Melbourne system. The Greg Inglis's, the Cooper Cronks, the Cam Smiths, the Billy Slays, the Israel Folau's, the Jesse Bromwiches, you're fucking talking the Hall of Fame players all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, and then like you talk about Wayne Bennett, you talk about those 90s teams of the Broncos, you fucking Hall of Fame players all throughout that.
Well, let's match the players now.
Yeah.
As we go through, I'll give you some comparisons. Let's go. Who are you taking, Billy Slater or Dylan Edwards?
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah. Who you taking? Who would say the most predominant 6 was? Probably not GI because GI was in the centres. Widdop, probably go maybe? Gareth Widdop versus Jerome Luai.
Yeah, I'm taking Luai.
Yeah, probably 50-50 for me. All right, Nath over Cooper Cronk.
Yeah,
would you agree
that's a 50-50.
And Cam Smith over Uppy Carousel was probably their most dominant.
Nearly everyone.
And the thing is with those, Jerome and Nath and Dill, actually they've had 3, so there's a genuine argument for it for sure.
It is, but I'm just saying I think you should give more credit to Ivan, like because he's kept the group, and everyone gives credit to Craig Bellamy about gets to prelims, gets to grand finals with this similar spine, right? Yeah. That's what they're doing. They just you just lost Kickout and Appy. You're still in another fucking grand final and you're the favourite.
Yeah.
You just lost 2 of the best players. Appy was the best hooker in the game last year and Kickout was the best back row in the game last year. And you lost 2 of those players. Everyone thought they're coming back. Everyone's going to even out. And you fucking just plug and replace. Kenny there.
Does this grand final mean anything for you? Does he get closer to Bellamy and Bennett if he wins 3 in a row?
He's a top tier. He's a top tier if he gets 3 in a row.
Yeah, he's got it.
Because no one's done it since in 40 years, since Parramatta. So that's totally different. And in this day and age where everyone's prepped the right way, what's the difference?
Yeah.
It's the coaching. It's the coaching. It's the detail.
Yeah.
It's all the little things that they do right, and that's fucking coaching.
And no asterisks next to the Penrith Panthers championships to date. And I'm not saying it is going to happen, but I'm just saying Melbourne will always have that little stain on
they
them.
will always. But like if you're a player, I mean, the fans will go Melbourne, blah blah blah. But Melbourne have played in those grand finals. They've had that experience, so therefore they're the best team, and they won those grand finals.
I agree.
But I know how fans think, and they'll go no, and I'm like, hey, you don't know how the game works.
Yeah. All right, moving on to that's why we have them, Mace. This is the YouTube questions.
Yeah.
This is why
we can go a fucking tangent, don't worry.
All right, the last one is from Maximus 15 GSP, George St. Pierre 16. Well done, men, for picking the best 2 teams for the final 7 to 8 weeks out. Legends, Panthers and prelims look like they don't have any weaknesses. Do you think the game will come down to which bench plays better? Is the NRL playoffs becoming like the NBA? The bench players play key roles now. I see Union going that way too with the South African team. They have all their forwards on the bench. If so, do you see super subs getting good money?
Yes, I think it's been heading that way for a while now.
Yeah,
as soon as the 6 again rule come in, you know, like the guys that have got a great middle like these 2, look at their benches, right? Spencer Lianu comes in, he would start in any other NRL team. He'd be starting every single week. And just say go through the last 3 or 4 years who's been on the bench for Penrith, right? They're all starters in some way, in some capacity, right? So I think it is like these players. You can play the same amount of time as a starter,
yeah,
right? Or maybe some more.
Well, you look at a guy like Harry Grant. He's a starter in every day of the week, but just to make sure he plays a full 60 minutes, they start him off the bench. They put Bronson Garlick on. He ends up playing 30 minutes. So Craig Bellamy himself knows that he's had trialled these. You know, he had some of the best super subs of all time when he won his competitions, like Cheese and
Everybody
Nelson.
did.
Cheese and Nelson coming off the bench.
Yeah.
You think even go back to your times,
go
mate.
20 years ago. We had Sonny Bill, we had Roy Asatasi, Rennie Matul, JT on benches. You know what I mean? So, like, you need a stacked. It's hard to get 23, 24 NRL studs, right?
Yep.
You're usually getting about 14. 15 and 16, 17, it's like, it's hard to really nail those. And the best teams have those. They have about, you look at the 18th and 19th, 20th man, you're like, fuck, that'd be in most NRL teams.
Yep.
They're not even in this team.
Well, both these teams.
You have a look and you can see that.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard. Like most clubs in the bottom four, or even like from 8 downwards are like, fuck, we'll give you a good 13. I'm not worried. I'm worried about our bench because that's why the starters play so many fucking minutes and it burns them out. Like I only want to play Payne Haas how many minutes he's playing right now. You know why? Because Palasi's doing a job. Yeah. Because Payne Haas when he has to play 50 minutes straight is nowhere near as dominant as he has been in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
I agree.
Because the bench was coming on and not really doing that much. He had Tapau coming on. He wasn't making that much of a difference. So you're giving him minimum fucking minutes.
Hetherington's been
great. Palasi's been great.
Yeah.
So they come off, you're not really losing
even
much.
Even Piakura, he's not getting much time.
Piakura's a fucking hit start in most teams.
I agree.
He's a gun.
Yeah, I like him.
And Smoothie comes on, he rests Billy Walters because he comes out and hits blokes. Well-balanced team. But like Payne Haas, you're getting him told now, give me 30 minutes of destruction, kid. Yeah. Bang, you get that? Instead of going, he knows he's not coming off to the 55th minute.
Yeah.
Fucking done. 40 minutes in the middle is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's tough.
Then you get Carrigan coming off Flegler, and all the three are getting a little bit of a rest. One of them might play the whole 40, and then probably only play 15 in the second half. So if you understand that as a middle, you're like, all right, I'm going to go the 40. You're going to go the 30. You'll give me 25. You get dudes going balls out.
Tell us about your mindset when you knew during times, because you've played big minutes as well before, and you have to play in the middle or play on an edge. You just leave a little bit in reserve, don't you? If you know you don't have someone on the bench that can come on and do a spell, you go, fuck, I've got to play 80 here, I've got to play 65 in the middle. You don't have the same punch, or you don't have the same energy getting inside pressure, which we talk about
it's all the little things. So if you know you got 30 and you can do it on, Payne Haas can do that on his on one leg, do 30 minutes. The amount of kick chases that he does, he's on the kick pressure that he does, the tip-ons, the running, you know what I mean? Everything that he's doing it just way more efficient. He's running that little bit, looks about 5% up than what he usually does. Yep. And you can see it, like visually, like, fuck, you see when he took off last week? Yeah. 40-metre break, just like off a stand start.
Yeah, he's a weapon.
And I think the mindset going into a game is like you just empty the tank. And you know you're going to be off for before halftime, you get halftime, you finish the game off.
I've always said
that's the mindset.
If I was ever to coach, like if I was ever in a position, I'd watch and I'd go like, here's a rough plan how it's going to go. This is plan A. Payne, you're going out there for 30. You're going to come
30
off.
something, yeah.
Like 30 to 35. Yeah. No matter what, we're going to get you off before halftime. If an injury happens or someone goes down, hey, you might need to play 80 because you're that dude, right? But there's a rough plan. Yep. There's not a rough plan. That's plan A. Then we've got plan B and we've got plan C. And I've got you covered. But week to week, you know, in between meetings, we'd be walking and go, hey, how you feeling, big fella? You know what? You know, throughout a season, I might go, Mace, you played 65. We're only supposed to play you 55. How are you feeling this week? Yeah. And then we'd put together a plan. And I think a lot of the best coaches do that. They do that.
And but you need the cattle to do that.
You do,
right? You can't just have one big bell.
You can't do that if you don't have Spencer Leniu
bell
coming
cow
off the bench.
like Payne Haas. You got some dudes coming off the bench, and he's got some help. He's got Jersey Flegler and he's got Carrigan.
Yep.
And they are dogs, and they go at it. You know, Carrigan's he's the key. He is the key to that team.
Yep, I agree. All right, mate. Let's get on to Kalyn Ponga, Dally M medal winner with Tamika Upton from the NRLW. Congrats to both Newcastle Knights.
2 fullbacks.
Well-deserved, both of them. So let's start with Tamika. So I was shattered for our girl, Taryn Aiken. She got pipped right at the end. The last couple of rounds really hurt her. They played Newcastle without Jessica Sturgis and Millie Boyle in the second last round, and Newcastle got them. Obviously, Tamika got some points in that. And then the last game as well, I think she got 4, but Tamika got 6 or something
opposite.
Close to that.
No, Taryn got 6, and it was leading by 3, and then she got 4.
You're right. Like that. You're right. She did get 6 points, but
that's shattering when they're standing up there as well, and we're watching going, fuck, oh no. And then you know, like Tamika sort of felt bad, I reckon. Like, oh no. But then you're like,
really.
okay. No. For a second, it's like, oh no, I'm the champ.
Ex-teammates from the Brisbane Broncos played together. Tamika Upton, she is silky, smooth.
She deserves it, right?
Taryn Aiken is absolute class. And even the tough middle forward, Samai Matelfa through the middle. She finished third on 22 with the OG, Ali Brigginshaw on 22. So, girls, also a massive shout out to Tegan Berry, leading try scorer for the NRLW. She finishes on 20 points. Let's get to the men's. It was Shawnee Johnson's for a long time, a long way out. 3 or 4 rounds to go. He's looking really good. But a kid called Kalyn Ponga, who we've talked about a number of times, teams would have been doing a shitload of video on him too, by the way, mate.
Heap of video.
Heap of video on Kalyn Ponga.
And now we know why.
And they still couldn't stop him.
You got to figure it out.
Maximum of 6 points. He finishes, because they both didn't play round 27 with injuries and resting. So Kalyn Ponga 56 points, Sean Johnson 55. Shout out to Nico Hines, back-to-back year top threes, 54. And I'm proud of my boy, DCE, Daly Cherry Evans, well-deserved 50 points. If he doesn't play in that Manly team this year, I'm telling you right now that they're down the bottom of the ladder as well. They finished on the same amount of points, I think, competition points I'm talking about, as some of the other teams just outside the top 8. So shout out to my boy DCE, Nathan Cleary 48, Baby Goat Harry Grant 57, Adam Fanua Blake great season 44,
big effort.
Phil Edwards 42, just Mr. Consistent, Payne Haas and Isaiah Yeo 41 as well.
Cleary, he doesn't miss 6 games. I think he fucks around and gets to Dally M.
I'll tell you what, Scotty Drinkwater as well had a phenomenal season, but he couldn't get it because of suspension for the hit on Corey Oates at the start of the year when he broke his jaw. And then there was Reece Walsh for his contrary conduct. He missed 3 games for that, 3 or 4 games.
I think it's fair too, because you got to,
I don't know.
I both sides. I'm just like, fuck. It's part of the game. But it should be part of the whole thing to be disciplined all year to get the biggest award in our game. You got to tick all the boxes. You got to be disciplined because it's easy to do a high shot and everything like that. But
here's my argument for that, Mace. Reece Walsh and Drinkwater missed 3 opportunities to tally what would potentially be, if they man of the match in all 3 games, 18 points. I think that's enough punishment.
I agree.
If you miss more than 2 games, right, or even 3, like the boys did, then for you to still win the Dally M from that position, I'm thinking, fuck, you must have had a cracker of a season because you missed out on 18 points. So Lukey was asking about the system before, Mason, and for some of those that don't know, there's 2 judges now, and they get a 3-2-1 each. And what that helps do, in my opinion, I like the system as well, because in years past, maybe a judge, there could be some bias, right? Mace, you're an ex-Bulldogs player. You're watching the Bulldogs play, and you've got maybe a favourite player each week. I'm not saying, I'm just using
I'm just saying, right? But that's how it works. You've got ex-players there. They're going to play played for Manly or whatever team. They're going to pick their boy, especially if you played with that guy 10 years ago.
Especially if it's 50-50, right? You can't struggle to pick a player.
Well, you personally don't like that other kid.
Or imagine me, right? Everyone knows how much I love DCE and Munster.
Yeah.
If I was, more often than not, if I can't split the game, just give it the money. Just give it to DCE. So with the second voter, you can get rid of the bias. So if a guy does indeed get 6 points, they sit at home and they watch the game individually. They're not together. And I believe this is the best system to come up with that I've currently seen. And Kalyn Ponga, well-deserved. Shawnee, that game against the Warriors, bro.
Yeah.
We were there for that game.
Against Manly.
You seen his reaction. I loved his reaction. He was sort of like...
He goes, he knew it because he didn't have his best game. They still won, but it was like Manly come over there. They were ready to roll.
They did, and I remember...
Fanua Blake killed it and Dallin killed it.
Dallin scored 3 tries. He had an unbelievable effort in that game. I'm not too sure who did score points.
Fanua Blake scored
0 points in that game that we were there, and that ended up costing him.
Back to the discipline. I think it's a discipline thing, right? And accountability, right?
Of course it is.
It's
that's
like,
the reason.
What, Reece Walsh, he had every right not to say anything, and he still chose to say something. So it's like you got to cover everything, not just about your playing ability, especially with this award, right?
Yep.
It's the most prestigious award you can get. So it's like it's got to are you disciplined every week, respectful, all that kind of stuff. Great player, yeah. So that's what you got to go. That's
what about Drinkwater, who just misses a tackle, gets it wrong accidentally?
Yeah, I know.
And it happens in a game, And if he'd won the Dally M, because he's coming across trying to save a try, gets his technique a little bit wrong. Yeah. He's not trying to break his
They're
jaw.
the ones that is a lot of grey area.
Well, see, then you can't have one or the other, can you?
But it's like, if it's just contrary conduct and stuff like that with refs and it's disrespectful, I think that should be. But if it's a fucking slip up or off-field jump, you bring the game into disrepute or anything like that, you're out of the race.
Okay, I like that.
Stuff like that's like you slip
missed tackle.
and a missed tackle, like Drinky. That's a perfect example.
What about Jacob Preston with the
Jake Preston with the fucking hip drop? He misses out on Rookie of the Year. Like things like that should be all right. If you get
okay, I can agree on that. I can agree on that.
Be open to that.
Anything contrary conduct, like Reece Walsh's situation, or you do something off field,
you're out.
That plays a part in the suspension. I think if someone like I'm looking at Jacob Preston and there was a couple of hip drops, right? He had a couple throughout the season, so. But the thing is, when I watch that kid play, he's trying everything he can do to make a tackle, and he got it wrong a couple of times. I don't think you should be punished for because no player that I've ever played against or I'm watching now goes in intentionally
wants to
do. Oh well, there might be a small percentage of you watch something and go, oh, that was shit. Yeah. Like he's trying to fucking if you punch someone in the head, same thing. That's it. You're out. But I think if a tackle goes wrong, then I find that really harsh. But
especially when it's a call from the ref. You know what I mean? The guy's slipping and you've already set in your target and you hit him in the head. It's like fuck. That's just a tackle gone wrong. If it's intentional, bro. All right, you're out of the Dally M race. But I think they should a little bit of grey area for those sort of moments.
Yep, I agree.
I don't know, because you don't want just say if KP did something wrong in the last round. Guy slips over towards him, his shoulder to the head. That's just the rule book. You're out for two weeks.
Same as Drinkwater.
That's what I'm saying.
What if KP's trying to make a tackle, trying to stop a try in the corner?
KP is not our Dally M winner.
Yep, there you go. That's my point. Yep. Well done for helping me get there in the end. So as I said, NRLW Dally M winner Tamika Upton. She was also fullback of the year with wingers Jakaya Whitfield and Julia Robinson. Shout out to the girls. Dally M centres. Dally M NRLW centres were Isabel Kelly, Mele Hufanga. Our girl Taryn Aiken got 5'8" of the year. Ali Brigginshaw, the OG half. Shannon Mato and Sarah Tongatuki were the front rollers. Destiny Brill, another great season. She's a good player, mate. Yasmin Clydesdale and a friend of ours, Olivia Kernack as well. And Samaima Taufa was the lock with the back rowers being Olivia and Yasmin. Coach was Karen Murphy. Dally M Rookie of the Year was Anessa Biddle. And Captain of the Year, Samaima Taufa, and she credited...
She kills it, man.
Zahara Temara for co-captaining her with Canberra. I love her as a player as well. Let's see how we went with the team, with the men's team. Both Kalyn Ponga, tick.
Yeah.
Kalyn, so Dallin Watson-Zelezniak and Asako.
You
didn't go Dallin, did you? You went Toto. You went Toto. Yeah. But
fair play, but
fair play. Stephen Crichton and Herbie Farnworth, the centres.
Yep.
You went Tungle.
Yep. No. I went Crichton and Bradman Best.
Yep. Ezra Mann, both tick.
My man, your man, Ezra Mann. How good.
Sean Johnson, halfback, tick. Payne Haas and Adam Fanua-Blake, front rows.
Hang on. Let's go back to Fanua-Blake's shirt. That's one of the greats. Hey. That is one of the greatest Dally M attires I've ever seen.
Hey, my Docs is wearing that Fopsachi.
Oh, the Doc.
That's the Fopsachi.
Docs, yeah.
He was looking silky.
The Mr. Fopsachi. Biggie Smalls out there.
He's got the fucking gold tooth. I love that. And
love it, bro. Well done on a
congrats. What a year, bro. Him and Payne Haas. Dally M Hooker of the Year. Harry Grant. I think he would have just got your boy Wade Egan.
Yep.
Liam Martin and Dave Fafita, well deserved. The only one I got wrong, Hamoli Alakawatu. Did you have Dave?
Yeah,
you had Dave,
I had David. I just thought Hamoli would have got it because he played more games and he fucking killed it all year. I just thought Liam Martin is the best back rower in the world.
Yeah.
I just think
but you
he missed so many
Fafita,
games. I did Fafita, yeah.
Yeah, well done. And we both got Paddy Tough Carrigan for lock of the year. He beat out Isaiah Yeo, who'd won it 3 years in a row. What an effort from Isaiah. He's a fucking...
That says a lot for Carrigan's year, but because Yowie had a fucking another Dally M year.
Dally M Coach of the Year, Andrew Webster. Dally M Rookie of the Year, Sanua Taruva. And Captain of the Year, Adam Reynolds. I don't think we did that, but I think we probably both would have gone Adam Reynolds. Congrats to everyone who won those awards. It looks like a great night for everyone that's involved in it.
the VB hardest working player of the year, Fanua-Blake.
Fanua-Blake.
That's big too, because that accumulates everything what you're doing.
All the stats.
Yeah, everything. Well done. That's massive. That is massive.
Yeah. All right, mate, you want to break down the game? Let's get into the game. Let's get into the game. These odds are accurate. As of the 28th of September at 8 a.m., we have the Penrith Panthers versus the Brisbane Broncos. With our friends, our partners, the Tab, Penrith are $1.62 favourites. Brisbane are $2.30. The line is 3.5. Very juicy, that line, I think, for the Broncos, because that is the way I'm heading. Mace, let's break down the edges and the middles, though. So let me give you the Broncos left edge versus the Panthers right edge, and then we'll come back to the prices. So we've got Jesse Arthurs on the left with Herbie Farnworth, Ezra Mam, and Kurt Capewell for the Broncos left edge. Against the Panthers right edge, Brian Toto, Stephen Crichton, Nathan Cleary, and Liam Martin. Left. Broncos left or Panthers right?
I like the Panthers right.
So do I.
Yeah. Look at those names. Cleary, Martin, Crichton, Toto. They're like top 3 in their position. Probably top 2 in their position in the world. What are you going to do? Like, they're defensively going to be fucking unstoppable. I think they got a big job. I mean, Ezra Mam against Cleary and Martin, you know what I mean? So I think Martin's going to take care of Capewell.
How about this? And this is going to...
Was Crichton going to play right?
This is going to contradict my... he'll play right centre, because they won't have... Oh, shit. No.
Was Tungo on the right?
Oh, Tungo played right. Yeah, sorry. Flip that across. Yeah, they're right. Sorry, mate. Good pickup, because someone will let us know for sure.
Yeah.
They won't play... Crichton will defend next to Luai to cover him. And
that's what I was thinking like they did last week.
Let's do that. Nice, mate. Good pickup.
Because I think now this evens it up.
Yeah, okay.
Because of the fact that
readjusted.
Tungo, he's injured. He's clearly injured.
So it was not a sternum. I stuffed up again. Apologies. Pec and foot injury. But you could see on that first try, he just didn't have confidence to go. He improved as the game went on, for sure, but slightly concerning. And Herbie Farnworth, Dally M Centre of the Year, he's going to be coming hard. So, that does make them a little bit more...
Ezra Mam's fucking great, mate.
Human.
Not great. He's had a career best year. He's going to take you on. Liam Martin, he don't slide off that line. Remember last week I told the guy comes straight off diagonal? Ezra Mam's going to cut you in half. Liam Martin's too smart. He would come straight off, track the inside hip. Please run, Ezra Mam. With your left foot, he's going to cop fucking full run to Liam Martin's right shoulder. Most of the time. But if he can get Ezra Man a little bit further out and then get one of the middles coming in, maybe a bench middle, and he's not that experienced around the ruck and it's real quick, he might get him slipping. If Ezra Man, if Liam Martin has to keep going over a little bit on a short side, then he might run. Even as Spencer Linier, right? He's really good, got really good footwork coming at you. Good line speed, but laterally just not. You're nowhere near as good a defender as Liam Martin. Man. Yeah, it's all angles. Like especially like you got Leota, you got Fisher Harris. They got their really good angles because they get off the line straight and then they track inside hips. And they all go together. It's the best, and that culture and that defensive system, they're all like that. But sometimes they just get a little bit too fucking fancy, come straight off sideways. Guys like Ezra Mam look at that and exploit. Yep. So I think it'll be hard for him to get through. He ain't going to go through like last week. Even if he comes through there, he's going to have middles coming in. See how we split him last week? It was like boom, boom, try, easy. If he beats that 4-man or even the middle, there's going to be markers and everyone coming across real quick. They solve it, and he's their danger man. I think Capewell does, he does all the little things really well. Kick chase is awesome. Kick pressure's awesome. He's got a little bit of he's got football in him if you let him play like they did last week.
Here's one for you too.
Think fucking Martin ain't going to go at him as hard as you can.
Oh yeah, they're going to good battles. Queensland versus New South Wales edge back rows. I know Capewell didn't
take
play
that
this
shit
year,
personal,
but also Capewell. He's got that Penrith IQ. Played there, won a competition with him in their first year, lost one.
He'll be giving the cues out.
He'll know he'll have some ideas of the calls coming against him too, so he can help that out with Ezra Mam and Herbie Farnworth. Advantage for me, Penrith, ever so slightly, looked a lot more dominant with Stephen Crichton. I had him on there, but they'll have Isaac Tungo for sure.
I'm worried about Tungo. I am. Tungo, he's defensively, he's known for his defense.
Yes,
and he got exploited last week.
Only once though, and he redeemed it.
But they're going to try and get it. I think they'll try and hide him as much as they can.
Here's one for you, Mace, just quickly. Do you think he got better as the game went on, or was it just because Melbourne were just not in the game and they never got the opportunities? Because if Trent Liaro hits that pass to Juzzy and we get another opportunity to see, but we never got to see it because he dropped the ball. So,
and I think the Broncos can execute a little bit better. I agree. And
so instead of having Nick Meaney and Juzzy Olam and Trent Liaro coming at you, you've got Reece Walsh, Capewell, and Herbie Farnworth.
Because understand this, guys. Guess who's around the back here?
Yeah,
the little man Walsh.
Yeah, we never mentioned the fullback.
So just understand this. So when we go on left on rights, people, just understand that this little guy is Walsh is coming around the back, and there's a lot of diversion We're just talking this man on man.
Yep.
And I think they even each other out. Tungo's probably the weak link in that, and that's not disrespecting him. It's just because of his injury.
And his
pec and his body mightn't allow him to do that. You can't needle a pec. It's not a fucking shoulder injury. It's a physical thing. So if he can't reach out or grab or hold on because his muscle, you just can't do it with a pec.
Yep.
Like I've torn a pec, you just can't grab. So he's going to have to hit, and when he hits shoulders, you feel it all the way down.
Yeah.
So he has to have perfect.
Feel nervy.
Yeah, he has to have perfect technique, man. And I think if it's one game, you're going fucking balls out.
Yeah.
It's this game. So with that mindset and the people around him, I just think the Panthers have that little bit of an edge.
Yep, slight advantage. Penrith Panthers on with you.
It's fucking so
All right,
it's so even.
Let's get on the Broncos right versus Panthers left. Selwyn Cobbo, Katoni Staggs, Adam Reynolds and Jordan Ricky versus Sania Taruva, Stephen Crichton, Jerome Luai, and Scotty Sorensen.
Fuck. That's hard.
I
think I might go with the Broncos right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I like it because guess who's around the back?
Reece Walsh.
Guess who opens up those little holes for Ricky to run through and Staggs to get those one-on-ones and Cobbo to finish off those tries? This is fucking great.
Is this as even of the matchup that we've had in the whole final?
This is exactly why these two are in the grand final. And we called it ages ago. Because they deserve to be in there. They're the best two teams. And everybody, they've got a full deck of cards. There's no like, oh, fuck, Cleary's not out. Oh, Reynolds is out. Oh, you know, like everyone's in and everyone's playing good and no one's injured. This is going to be a fucking great grand final. I just think Staggs, he can go. I think he can match up with anyone. It's going to be a matchup nightmare. Crichton and Staggs. So we're just cancelling each other out. Two great defenders. Two great attackers.
Defenders.
Aggressive as fuck.
They want to get in your face and shut you down early.
Cobbo's play twos. Taruva's play twos. Just as dynamic. But I think Cobbo's a little bit stronger in the contact.
I don't know, man.
I like Taruva's a little bit more steppy. I think Cobbo's boom. You got to get at him.
Okay, yeah,
got to get at him.
On that.
Taruva, you get two bodies on him. Clip the legs.
I think equally is effective though because he's low and got a lower centre of gravity. He can duck and get in between, and he's got a really good balance driving through after he gets through that initial contact.
And then we'll go to the middles later because he's going to be running mostly at the middles. What sort of middles did Brisbane have? Fucking good middles. Really aggressive with all these.
Penrith
we'll get to
right too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying with the Taruvas and Cobbos coming out, like with Cobbo coming out, who's he going to go against? The Fisher Harris, Leotas. Lower, so they can get under him. You don't want to tackle Cobbo's 6'3" or 4 people. You don't want to hit him up top. He will throw you to the ground. It's like GI. You don't go up top. You got to hit him here, and he's got that bum.
I've got a better example. Last year, Moses Leota's shot on Latrell Mitchell in the prelim. It's
fucking same shit, and I'm scared he's going to do the same thing because Cobbo, he don't back down, mate.
He comes straight.
But he'll come straight back.
Off the back fence, It
rattled Latrell last year. You know what I mean? Well, I don't think it would have rattled Cobbo.
It was a fucking great hit on
probably
Latrell.
The best hit. Probably the best hit I've seen.
It was the better hit of the
best
season,
hit on Latrell ever.
In a big game,
But I don't think Cobbo's job is to do that. The play twos, and Leota's going to be sitting there. Fisher Harris is going to be sitting there. Yowie, Spencer Lianu, all that kind of stuff. So those two play twos are going to be outstanding. Reynolds, Luai, fuck.
Slight advantage, Broncos?
Yeah, just slight advantage.
Slight, with that young kid that goes right at fullback, Reece Walsh at the back.
That's what I'm saying. Just understand, people, we're just thinking, you got two middles here, you got two middles playing those block plays, and you got Ricky running these lines, you got Walsh out the back, and everyone, it's different. But these man on man, I'm thinking Ricky might be able to get Sorensen.
Ooh, I don't know about that, man. I like me some Scotty Sorensen.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it. The only reason why I'm saying Ricky might get him is because of the fact that Reece Walsh is out the back. Sorensen might hedge his bets. He might turn out a bit.
Stay square.
Just need to stay square.
Right.
Easier said than done, bud.
Let's move on to the middles. If you think that was a close matchup, let's get to the middles.
The big boys.
Moses Leota, Mitch Kenny, Dog, Isaiah Yeo, James Fisher-Harris versus Jersey Flegler, Billy Walters, Paddy Tough fucking Carrigan, and Payne Haas.
I love it. I love both these teams. They all have, it's just rep players everywhere, isn't it?
Imagine like, you just love to fucking chuck a jersey on and just before a game, like just say, and this is respect, actually, fuck it. It'd be disrespectful to put me in any of these teams next to these guys. So I'll just say, I get to line up with either of those teams before I'm coming out. Jeez, I tell you what, I might have played rep footy as well.
Just say if you're an edge, just say you're left edge or right edge.
Scotty Sorensen or Jordan Ricky.
What middles do you want? Who do you want to go war with? And go, fuck yeah, we got these guys.
Probably Penrith.
Yeah.
Because of Mitch Kenny. Because Mitch Kenny defensively, like, he's going to fucking jam. But there's not, like, Billy Walters, great defender, and he's done unreal, and he's got some nice little subtleties. But when you line up, like, as you know, the spots in teams generally, and I played with some good hookers that weren't spots. Matty Ballin was a great hooker because he wasn't a spot. But when you line up to Mitch Kenny, he's not only a spot, he's a problem.
Yeah, he's going to get you.
He's going to get you.
Because if you're Payne Haas and like, Flegler's a bit different, but because they all got good footwork, that's the thing. Yeah. And Kenny might come out and try and really fucking put a hit on one of these guys, and he might cop a hip.
It's picking poison.
He needs to be really careful, because these guys like Flegler, footwork, Carrigan, footwork, Payne Haas, just a massive body, little bit of footwork, right? Yep. So Kenny is going to go after these guys. He's their little fucking pit bull. Yep. He just doesn't stop. But I just want him to be fucking careful, get the timing right, bang, because he's got that perfect technique to disturb Payne Haas and Carrigan, right? There's both 6'4" dudes you're talking about. Kenny's there. I'm saying I'm 6'5". I would rather run at Fisher Harris easy than fucking Kenny. Because Kenny's going to get you.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I mean? He's going to hit you on the quads. He's going to hit you there. The thing is, like, they hunt in fucking packs, right? So Leota's going to hit the ball or whatever. Kenny's got you here. Someone's cleaning legs.
If you were to rate the middles for Penrith in order of best to the
defenders,
worst, no, just in general, it'd probably be Yo and Fisher Harris, unanimously 1 and 2. But I think Leota and Mitch Kenny had a bigger impact in the grand final last year to start the game. I think Leota was fucking outstanding.
Leota does shit that, like...
And Kenny was equally as good.
If you know your football, you know Leota is that sleeper there. But when he wakes up, he fucking pumps you. Yeah. Like, I think if you're Flegler and Carrigan and Payne Haas, you know you've got two genuine hitters in Leota and Kenny. Yep. And Yowie might fuck around and put you on your back as well. And then Fisher Harris just does shit. Like, he just hits. Yeah. Everything's aggressive.
Well, he was their best against Melbourne.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, he just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
He's trying to take souls out there. It's unreal. And this is, I think, mentally, I think Penrith might have it over Brisbane because they're older dudes. They've been in the game for a while. 4th grand final for some of these guys. 1st fucking grand final for all these guys.
Yep.
The bright lights might get them, or they might be young, fit, stronger, faster, all that sort of stuff. But it's going to be fucking hard.
All right, moving on.
Who? Penrith? I'm going Penrith.
It depends on, it's picking your poison, right? Because defensively, every day of the week, I'm taking the middles for, even though they're good defenders, but offensively, if you want to score points and you want to create havoc, it's the perfect matchup, mate. Like, if you're an offensive-minded player, you want to play with the Broncos. If you're a defensive-minded coach or player, you want to play with Penrith.
Okay, so how do you get the ball out of, like, Payne Haas's hands and Carrigan's? It's how Penrith play, kick into the corners. These guys only play 4. One of them for a quick play the ball. And then, like, it's the field position game. You don't want to give Broncos good field position because then they can set up for plays. Then you get Reece Walsh. Then you sit them on the numbers line. Then you get the Reece Walsh, the big play to the right. Then Carrigan comes into play. Then Payne Haas comes into play, Flegler. Then the offloads. But if you bury him coming out of yardage all game, these guys are going to be doing the shittiest carries and getting bashed.
But the argument's the same for the other way around.
It's the same. That's what I mean. It's whoever can get in that position and the field position thing, and who kicks the best, 2 of the best kickers in the game, the kick chase, 2 of the best in the game, they're 1 and 2. And it's whoever can do that for the longest without breaking will win the game. Fucking hardest thing ever to do.
Yeah. All right. Let's put it all together. Let's come up with a result. Penrith Panthers versus the Brisbane Broncos. Who you going?
I'm going to go Penrith simply because I think experience will take its toll. They've been here before. Nothing's really going to faze them. Cleary looks like he's just got a clear head on. He's thinking fucking unbelievable. The forwards do their job. The outside backs do their job. They're confident in their system. And I just think they'll be just too good. And I think it's going to go for like 70 minutes really even, and then Penrith will just break away.
Okay.
I think if whoever breaks first.
Yep. All right, so Penrith Panthers 1 to 12?
13 plus.
13 plus? Ooh. I'm on the Broncos. I'm on the Broncos head-to-head, definitely. Obviously, love the points. I'll take the plus 3.5 every day of the week, responsibly, of course. And I'm not going to get silly. At the start of the week, on the run home with Fletchy, or the run home, I said Broncos plus. But it's going to be tough against a solid Penrith Panthers team. So I'm going to go Brisbane Broncos, and I'm going to go Clive Churchill, Reece Walsh.
Isaiah Yeo.
Yeah.
It's going to be one in the middle.
Yep. Beauty. All right, as for the NRL women's, Newcastle $1.50 favourites to go back-to-back against the Gold Coast Titans.
Good work,
the
Titans.
story of the year.
Sorry, yeah.
No, they come last year, though, and they had a great season. So -5.5 is the line. They also kept the favourites for the competitions for a long time in the Sydney Roosters. Duck egg last week. Really good defensive effort. Shout out to Avani Politi, Georgia Hale, Jessica Alliston, Shannon Marto. They've got a really good pack. And for that reason, Mace, I'm on the Titans. I think the Titans can cause an upset. I'm on the 2 Queensland teams, believe it or not. And I think they can cause an upset. So I'm going to go the Broncos into the Gold Coast women's. And I'm really looking forward to this. And if they're to win it, I think it's the Karen Murphy Award. So she's the coach of the Gold Coast women's team, right? I think if they're to win this game, I think it's going to be won through the middle. So I'm going to go the front rower, NRLW front rower of the year, Shannon Marto, for a bit of a smoky for Karen Murphy medal.
I think the Knights will pump them.
Because if she's coming up against Caitlin Johnston, Yasmin Clydesdale for the Newcastle Knights. They've got a really good pack themselves. They've got the Southwell girls.
Yeah. I actually watched the game.
Upton
I watched the whole game last week.
Yeah.
I was thinking Newcastle are untouchable.
Yeah.
And the Bronx were good.
Bronx are really good. They showed some fight, and I think Gold Coast can show
Tamika
some
Upton,
fight
bro.
and get it done. She's a weapon. She's
Absolute
a
weapon.
Okay, let's get on to the LPC multi of the grand final, the last one, Mace, and I've gone something nice and juicy for the punters. We've got it from the traders. I've got Brian To'o and Jesse Arthurs to score in the first 60 minutes. It's going to be so hard through the middle to penetrate the line. If they're going to score, it's going to have to be on the outside. And I like the 2 edged wingers taking on each other. Brian To'o versus Jesse Arthurs in the first 60 minutes. And my Broncos to win the game. That is for $26. Ooh. Very juicy odds from the traders with a max bet of $25. Good luck to everyone who has a punt responsibly on the GF. Good luck to everyone performing in to the grand final. Mace, enjoy your weekend. As always, we want everyone to be playing safe during this footy season and this grand final. So please keep front of mind, what are you really gambling with? And if you need free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Mace, enjoy the weekend. We'll see you at the Run Club on Sunday morning.
Yep.
And you got the Osboy, the Australian.
Yeah, we've got the reunion there on 2003. The Australian, they're recognising and celebrating the 2003 Kangaroo Tour.
Awesome.
And it's a Kangaroo Tour. Minicello's, Petro, Webkey, Lockie, Mick Crocker, myself, Wingy. It's a good game.
Yeah, awesome. Enjoy your weekend. Be a bit dusty on Sunday, but you'll be there.
I'll be there, mate.
Me and Lukey will be running. Louis Brown, Nick Youngquist. Enjoy the grand final, and we'll see you for the grand final review next week.
Yep.